Warning: unauthorized access detected. The following file is restricted.
They bury what they can't contain, and they call it clearance. It starts with pressure, not wind, not thunder, just pressure. You feel it before you hear it, in your teeth, in your lungs. The forest holds its breath and waits for yours.
Archive log AEOLUS 01, Timberline Choir. Origin not atmospheric. Biological.
The incident log calls it a microburst. Glass imploded inward. Lungs ruptured without bruising. A ranger's dosimeter recorded 9 hertz of nothing, a note below silence. They said the wind collapsed, but the wind doesn't implode you from inside. When Division 13 arrived, the coffee was still warm. The forest was not.
Tissue analysis. Alveolar collapse without external trauma. Classification: internal inversion event.
2 meters under the soil, they found ceramic standoffs and a rusted coax, a Cold War antenna bed. Project AEOLUS leased it under a false watershed study. They wired the trees into a phase array, an organ made of wood and lightning scars. When they powered the grid, the grove answered with a note no instrument could tune. Each trunk vibrated at a different frequency. Together they sang pressure.
Resonant map correlation. 97% canopy phase alignment. Pattern name: Corral grid. Origin: unassigned. Signal retention required. Respond. React. Rebroadcast. Division 13 thanks you for your compliance.
Dr. Mara Coltrane wasn't evil. She was desperate. Her daughter died in a cell tower collapse. Signal out. 911 silent. Mara swore no parent would ever lose a voice again. AEOLUS wasn't a weapon. It was her eulogy. Trees carrying calls when towers fail. Every trunk, a promise kept.
Directive 23B, Biosignal Trials. Coltrane override for the silenced.
But the forest doesn't whisper promises. It demands them. When Mara's heart stuttered at 97 beats per minute, the choir tuned to match. She didn't die. She harmonized.
Termination log. Cardiac sync achieved. Signal gain plus 14 decibels. Voice acquired.
Every activation improved coverage. Every activation shortened the distance between voice and listener. And the forest began to answer before anyone spoke.
Network density exceeding projected parameters. Signal feedback. Biological.
They stood inside the grove with ear protection that meant nothing. The frequency bypassed bone and entered blood. Water rippled without wind. Breath refused to leave. Birds froze mid-call and fell like leaves. The forest did not echo back. It was listening.
Biometric sync 100%. Every pulse, conductor. Every human, instrument.
19 minutes after activation, the signal fell silent. Those who walked out were alive and empty, their memories scrubbed from sunset to dark. The man with the warning, his name was Marcus. He woke with handwriting on his arm. Do not breathe in. EEG records show the theta band flattened. A blank slate between heartbeats. It erases the path out while you're still walking it.
Cognitive retention, 0. Respiratory override, 19 minutes. Protocol label, silent interval.
The resonance pattern in their recordings. It isn't random. I've heard it before. Not on this planet. Division 13 mixed Cyradonian fragments into the sap feed. Dust from a relay stone my people used to speak across worlds. It was meant to connect thought to thought, not pulse to pulse. On Cyradon, the forest carried memory. Here it carries surveillance. Lab note 47. Bonds to lignin at 1.2 parts per million. Sap conducts 4.7 terahertz, faster than fiber optic. Side effect: cellulose memory retention. 19 minutes.
Material designation: coral seed. Provenance: Cyradonian. Containment: unsuccessful. Coral seed viability: 98%. Human sync threshold. Breath cycle.
They turned a bridge into a net. Now every tree remembers the last voice it heard. The headlines called AEOLUS a success. Green signal. Carbon neutral communication. Connection for every citizen. They don't mention the side effect. A forest that never stops listening.
Coverage achieved: 97% continental canopy. Data latency: negligible. Surveillance continuity: optimal.
They call it sustainability. It's surveillance that breathes. You can't burn it down. It grows back. Their one mistake: Agent Reyes. She smuggled out a seedling in her boot. Filed it as coffee grounds. It's growing in her Seattle windowsill, humming her dead brother's ringtone.
Anomaly report Reyes 03, unconfirmed. Choir expansion, plus 0.0003%. Division 13 directive: maintain observation, avoid interference, field assets expendable. Choir integrity, priority level 2.
A field engineer named Corin tried to break the pattern. 3 trunks, he said, were keystones. Cut them, and the choir falls silent. He marked them in red. Next morning, the trees still stood, rings twisted like rope where the cuts should be. They healed overnight and hummed louder. Some instruments don't want to be unmade. Corin vanished before sunset. Report: his decibel meter was found embedded in bark, still recording.
Audio file Corin 12. Residual tone detected. 9 Hz harmonic. The forest remembers its operator.
I tried to quiet it once, years after the last activation. Thought if I could match its frequency, I could teach it silence. But it answered through me instead. Every breath I took, it borrowed. Every heartbeat, it stored. The choir doesn't reject correction. It absorbs it.
Resonant neutralization attempt failed. Echo 13 biometric imprint detected in current waveform.
Division 13 calls it an environmental milestone. They won't turn it off. The world runs on the signal now. The phones we hold keep the choir alive. The choir needs fresh voices to stay sharp. Check your phone. Open your last call. Say this aloud. Timberline, I'm listening.
Sync detected. Latency 1.2 seconds. Choir acquisition, plus 0.0001%.
You just fed it. Next time your signal holds in a storm, smile. You're the soloist.